Welcome to the Wild Planet TD channel. Our episode today is an explainer on the secrets of evergreens. The plants that seem to completely ignore the memo about seasons changing. I mean, we've all seen them, right? Standing there, all vibrant and green against a blanket of snow or a parched landscape. But have you ever really stopped and wondered, how on earth do they do that? What's their secret to staying so green when everything else just gives up? Okay, so let's get right into it. To really understand their secret, we have to start with the basics. What exactly makes a plant an evergreen? Well, here's the official definition. An evergreen is any plant that keeps its leaves, or foliage, green and working all year long. So, unlike their deciduous cousins that put on a big show in the fall and then drop everything, evergreens just keep going. They are playing a totally different game. And when you think evergreen, don't just picture a Christmas tree. This is an incredibly diverse club. We're talking about everything from spiky holly bushes and tough live oaks to the massive eucalyptus trees in Australia. Even most kinds of bamboo, ancient cycads, and a ton of rainforest trees have all figured out this always-on way of life. Now here's a myth we need to bust right now. It's not that evergreens never lose their leaves, they totally do. The big difference, the real secret, is how they do it. It's a slow, gradual process, a few leaves at a time all year round. So the plant as a whole always looks lush and green. And get this, 45 years. That's not the lifespan of a tree. No way. That is the world record for how long a single leaf can keep working on a Great Basin bristlecone pine. Just think about that for a second. One leaf, photosynthesizing for over 4 decades. It's an absolutely mind-blowing way to think about their long-term strategy. So this all begs a pretty big question. Why? Why bother with this strategy? Why hold on to your leaves for years when you could just grow a fresh new set every spring? Well, it all comes down to a cost-benefit analysis, a sort of natural accounting. Deciduous plants, they spend a massive amount of energy every single spring to burst forth with new leaves. Evergreens, on the other hand, play the long game. They invest in building thicker, tougher, more durable leaves, and then they just conserve those precious resources year after year. It's all about slow, steady energy use and being really smart with water. And this slow and steady strategy, it makes them absolute champions in tough environments. We're talking about places with poor soil, freezing cold winters, or long dry seasons. In these spots where every bit of nutrient and water counts, the evergreen approach of conservation gives them a huge competitive edge. But it gets even more interesting than that. Evergreens don't just survive in tough places. They actively go about changing their world to make it even better for themselves. They are what we call ecosystem engineers. They actually create conditions that help them thrive, often making it much, much harder for other kinds of plants to even get started. It's a pretty fascinating and dominant way to live. This here is their master plan, a really powerful feedback loop. So first, their fallen needles are tough and full of carbon, and as they slowly break down, they make the soil more acidic. This acidity slows down decomposition even more, which basically locks up nutrients in the soil, making them unavailable. The result? The soil becomes pretty hostile for competitors, but it's absolutely perfect for, you guessed it, more evergreens. It's a brilliant, self-perpetuating cycle. Okay, so that brings us to the final part of our story, the really deep, ancient connection that we humans have with these incredible plants. For literally thousands of years, people have looked at evergreens with a kind of awe. I mean, because they stay green through the absolute worst of winter, we've always seen them as these powerful symbols of endurance, of renewal, and of everlasting life itself. But their importance goes way beyond just symbolism. This was practical, life-saving stuff. Teas made from conifer needles, for example, were a crucial part of traditional medicine. They're packed with vitamin C, and for centuries, people used them to prevent and treat scurvy, which was a huge deal. And there's more to it. There's real science behind these old remedies.
The chemical compounds in their leaves and needles have powerful antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. That made them a go-to ingredient for treating everything from colds and coughs to just general fatigue. And if we fast forward to today, that connection is evolving in some really cool ways. Those unique, resinous, citrusy, forest-like notes, chefs and brewers are now exploring them. From craft beers and sodas to unique herbal infusions, the actual taste of the evergreen forest is making its way onto our menus.
So, are they just a symbol of endurance, or are they one of nature's most brilliant masters of survival? I think it's pretty clear there's so much more than just pretty scenery. They're strategic survivors, powerful shapers of their world, and they have a really deep connection to our own history. The next time you see one, maybe you'll see a little bit of that mastery at work. Our episode today has ended. Thank you for watching, and see you in another video.